Hi, everybody. So I'm back here with Aubrey and Z, and we're going to talk about Ascension today. And we're going to talk about, so we're actually doing a class together, the three of us, that has to do with the toolbox to Ascension. So that link will be below. I think that's going to open up a lot of stuff for people. That's going to make everything easier. And you'll be, creating your own journey that way. I'm doing a subscription, Healing with Honey, that's very price point kind, I'll say. And I'm going to be doing 4 videos a month and healing people. And then Aubrey and Z are also going to be doing a mystery school. So this is a mystery school of the light. And that's going to be another really cool thing that's going to be happening because we're getting our gifts. So our gifts are coming in. So this will help us utilize them. Anyway, and also Aubrey and Z are going to talk about their relationship to each other just for a second here. And we're going to go ahead and get started.
Yeah, we just wanted to kind of introduce ourselves. And so, I mean, you've seen both of us on Honey's channel before. Basically, we are the same being in 2 different bodies is kind of the long and short of it. And we also carry our full remembrance of who we are and what we have been to each other and our entire history together. And so we've been working for infinite lifetimes at this point, for Ascension. Ascension is kind of our jam. That's what we do.
For this point in time.
Yeah, exactly. So we normally work on a more planetary scale. And currently the way to do that is through disseminating the information about Ascension and kind of how to do that and what it is. And so
what does it look like? What does it feel like? And what does it feel like per different being?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's amazing. So we're going to talk about peeling the onion away. Basically,
yes, we are.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the earth onion.
Yes. So this is the earth onion, okay? And this is how I was given a picture of Earth, and that would be her crystal in the middle. But we also have a lot of layers of stuff that we've built up, and also our family has built up over years and years. And just freeing that crystal from all the stuff, the layers of dirt and whatever, trauma, all that stuff is going to help you shine. So that's the purpose of this class and this discussion, really.
Yeah, exactly. So that picture of the earth that you just showed is just a picture of a Taurus field. And that crystal that's in the center of the earth is also in the center of every single one of you. Exactly. Every single person has a spark of source inside of you, and that is the Taurus field that's created around it.
And that spark you can think of as coming back home to your heart. That's basically what that is. Your spark, your heart spark,
your heart spark.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, we all have that divine, part of source within us, and it's the most fun part as well. I remember this is off subject, but I remember picking this life, and it was something my higher self, she gave me back that memory, and it was so much fun. I had a little friend with me, and it was like we're just floating through source, our little light bodies. And we just sat there and picked what we were going to do, because basically a screen opened up. So it's almost like you were ordering from fast food, but you were creating your lifetime that you were
exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. You have all of those options that you get to look at, and it's really, that's where the game is. Okay, what do I want to play with this go around? And you get to put that on your platter.
But it's important to remember that the choice doesn't stop at that ordering place. The choice continues of what life you want to choose within whatever avatar you're embodying continues. You still have that fast food screen in front of you, right now,
infinitely per second moment.
Yeah, there's no limitation to what you can experience, or it's really what you in any given moment choose to experience. Which is why we're talking about ascension, because what ascension really is looking deeper and deeper at yourself and unraveling layers of yourself so that you understand deeper and deeper how more at one with the universe you are, and stop giving yourself limitations unless you want to. The only limitations are there because you are choosing into them.
Right. For your learning purposes. And the more that you do look inward at yourself, the more that you have the ability to understand that we are one consciousness, one being looking at itself for our learning purposes. So,
yeah. And expansion. Or expansion as well.
And expansion.
Yeah.
And expansion.
The funnest part.
Yes. We're getting bigger. And who knows, maybe we'll get to be taller.
It's all of the things.
It's all there, all available.
Any which way and direction that we could ever possibly want.
Yeah. So
in ascension, in terms of our understanding, might be kind of in the mode of, okay, we're going to ascend from the earth to the heavens, right? That's kind of how we've had that picture running through. And really
literally going up.
We're going
ascending.
Up. We're going up. But now in this new earth, it's all merged into one. That's basically what that is. And so all of you who are talking about the gifts and the gifts coming back, you're just remembering them because it's merged now.
Ascension is an expansion, exactly as Honey said. It's like what ascension is just this knowing and expansion of who you are, of knowing more and more and remembering more and more of who you are. And you have access to every single record or memory or gift that you could possibly want. You've already chosen which ones you like, and you get to choose more as time goes on.
As many as you want. You can be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go somewhere else and just go for that and bring that in and call it in, because it's just right there. And that is through the process of that shed and peeling onion layers.
Yeah. We're just limitless. And I think that's been the hardest concept, honestly, for a lot of people, because we've been told that we're small, but we're not at all.
Yeah, so these onion layers and this shedding and these lessons are like, the best way that we can think to explain it is through like frequency and vibration. So I mean, frequency is the sine waves that we see, the up and down, like the cycles basically of just like, this is big,
You could also see that as a wave of light, right? A wave of light goes in those cycles. And vibration is really the idea that everything is in motion. Everything is moving. All of our particles are moving. So if we're looking at our movement, the frequency is basically just our cycles of learning. So what onion peel are we going to be looking at right now?
And so when we're talking about raising your frequency or raising your vibration, basically what in raising your frequency or vibration, you're giving yourself the ability to move through your cycles more quickly. Like, you're not like, it's not that you're trying to be better, or like be better than, and it's again hierarchy. It's that you're giving yourself the tools that you already have to move quickly through your lessons, like and move with the universe in the way that you choose, instead of being at the mercy of, this is happening to me.
Right. It's the ultimate victim versus sovereignty, right? Sorry, go ahead, Z.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly right.
So when we're talking in terms of density, and we're moving out of density, density is basically those compact particles per unit mass. So like this couch right here is got quite a bit of density to it, because its particles are vibrating at a slower rate. And as we expand ourselves in our vibration, and the aspect through expanding ourselves is finding the joy, the compassion, the love, those particles shift out and more air comes in. So we're able to learn the lessons quite a bit faster. And that is bringing in our light, our personal light, the light that we have, going back into ourselves, into oneness and the expansion of consciousness itself.
Yeah.
So have fun. That's the kind of
Excited
the
about
point.
it.
The way
So
to
excited.
do all of this is to find the joy and find the game
That's
and
it.
find the joy. That's the point. That's how to do this. That's how to ascend. What game do you want to play in any given moment? And what game are you already choosing into?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you can't see it as something fun, like I've noticed lately, if someone is doing a drama, so they've got some sort of drama going on, for me, it's like,
Yep.
ooh, I'm just going to let that, play out over there. But also I'm thinking, why do they want to do that? That doesn't, it doesn't really come into my field. That's what I'm saying. And sometimes it is actually funny, depending on how much pain they're in. If they're not in pain, they're just creating some kind of swirl that,
Right.
I don't know, like maybe they're watching soap operas or some kind of TV show and they're crying and, oh, how could it happen? That to me is funny. Versus somebody, truly going through something deep but it creates something inside of them too. That's the thing. Like, if you see something as that's reality, like maybe there's two people that are fighting and you buy into it, then you're participating. So being the observer is good right now, because there's a lot of stuff that's coming out of people that has to come out for ascension too.
Well, and I mean, if you're tying it back to what ascension is, again, like observe yourself, like ascension is really is also about, because ascension looks very different for every single person, as we've already established. And that's because of which perspective you're viewing it from. And so which perspective are you viewing yourself? Are you being the third party observer to yourself? Because you can just actually like watch without charge and be like, oh, huh. And even your dramas, even the dramas that you have been doing, you can actually just view it and find the mirth in it, and oh, did I do that? I was doing that to myself, wasn't I? Especially if there's patterns that have been repeating again and again and again over, your entire lifetime. If you're repeating the same patterns, it's because it's something you are doing. You did choose into it in some way. So you can look at yourself and be like, oh, yeah, I made that choice.
Look at that story. That is a really dang good story.
Would you look at that?
Wow, there's the root of that. And I have a choice to move in the other direction. And we're not by any way denying the fact that sometimes we go into deep spaces, and that's totally okay. We want to embrace that and feel that, because that is a perspective that we're looking through. But also, in doing so, it can be like, we did this the other night, like we were feeling some density and I was like, ah, and then I just sneezed. I'm like, it's gone. It was super funny, so,
Achoo.
We're good.
Yeah, it's done. And it is that easy.
It can be definitely be that simple. It's just choosing that pathway. And as you have that point of attraction, because again, you are your point of attraction, you're looking at these stories, make it a story. The best thing that you can do for that other puzzle piece, and I do like to look at it as a puzzle piece, because we're all puzzle pieces looking at each other, and they have a piece of the puzzle, is creating that laughter in the story about it. And that's going to increase your vibration right there and give them the example, because as soon as that works, because we have these pathways of interconnectedness, they have that choice point there. You've just been the example.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then we can just choose to uninstall things too.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Oh, I installed that. Oh, uninstall. It's just like when you're hearing something you don't like and you say cancel, 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 and then it doesn't get installed. That's another way to do it. But
Yeah,
you can also uninstall. Oh, I'm done with that. Uninstall.
Yeah. Yep. Do I need to be like, we've talked in previous videos about like, if you're hearing yourself saying the same story over and over again, like, it's just like, oh, that's a program. Hi, and like, Stories are really kind of one of the best tools that we're probably going to be talking about in the Ascension Toolbox to do this, because like in any given situation that has happened, your perspective is different from someone else's perspective, and your perspective now is definitely different than the perspective that happened. And so the story that you tell about it can be completely different with the exact same like order of events. The entire story can be different at any given moment. And so you can be the purveyor of your own story. You can do that in your own life. You can be like, well, this happened and so died, and then I'm sorry, I'm gonna say my kids stopped talking to me, and and you can tell the story about that and be in the lower vibration of it, and be in the victim mindset, or you can tell yourself an entirely new story about the exact same events, and what if, just what if, that's the question really here, is like, what if that the same things happened, but it was, and you can start easy. You can start with something really fantastical. Actually, there was a meteor coming, and that was actually the cause. It exploded,
and I laughed really, really hard. that just keeps you in that higher vibrational state of things.
Consider the nonsense. Consider something else than what you think happened.
Add in the curiosity to it. Oh my, okay. Let's see what this story is, and that keeps you in the creative mode. And we're all here to be creative, and we're all here to manipulate energy to our benefits. That's really what we're here to do.
Yeah.
And for our manifest. For fun. Yeah.
And have fun. Yeah. So like you could say, well, that person's not talking to me anymore because we needed to come apart so that we could both go learn separately and then maybe come back together. And that's manifesting. Exactly. So change the way it looks. And also, if it's a hard one, look at it from their perspective as well, so that you can create the story and just kind of move through it, and also don't get extremely attached to it, because we are all one. We're all going to see each other again. We're all going to be together.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is
I'm glad you brought
the process. Yeah.
With the universe, if you're afraid of snakes, the universe will manifest you snakes. So if you are like, when you're talking about manifesting in regards to someone not talking to you, it's like, if you are afraid it's because you did something, then I'm sorry, you're right, because you are that. You just wrote that story. You just wrote that story, and like your thoughts are more powerful than you realize. And so if someone's not talking to you because of blah 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 blah, you're right. That's why. But also, but maybe you can shift your story to be exactly what you just said, honey. We came apart. We both had lessons to learn. What do I need to learn? What am I doing over here? Hi. What's happening around here? And actually, and release attachment to whether or not you come together because you need to say something to them.
Right.
Well, and switch it into a good thing. When something like that happens, something has shifted. A cycle has ended there. Yeah. That is a gratitude space to be in. Right. So you can then work in, because we do increase our frequency with all these attachments by bringing in that forgiveness. Like, okay, well, I'm going to bring in the forgiveness piece. I did that. This is a joyful thing. This means that I'm starting another cycle, and this cycle is going to be really joyful because we're all the same. That person is the same as me, and we are going to come back in together. We're all those little atoms that come back in together.
We had to separate because we weren't having fun over there.
Exactly.
That wasn't fun. Now we can have fun again. That's
yep.
Yeah, it really doesn't have to be so serious. I think that's one of the things that we, as a group of starseeds, we've gotten into that serious mode, and now it's time to lift it. It's time to just start to shed those layers and almost think about it as spring. Let's go into spring. Let's see the snow melt and the flowers come up. Let's go enjoy it.
What seeds do I want to plant?
What seeds do I want to plant?
Yeah.
What is it that I want in my you know, that's a really, really beautiful thing. And also visualizing, really just feeling what it is that you want, bringing in that feeling in that picture, because that's it. All the universe is just going to bring that right to you if you hold that in a constant state.
Exactly. Yeah. That
Again,
feels really
if
good.
you want, if what you want is to be afraid of snakes, that's exactly the seed you're planting. You will get more snakes.
I'm laughing at this because I love snakes so much. I love snakes so much. So like, please.
I do too. But the point is, like, when you're planting these seeds, like, don't plant the seeds of what you don't want. That's the universe doesn't understand that's not what you want, that they understand that you're planting the seed, you know? And so what do you want instead?
And that's also understanding. I know some of us like do that unconsciously. Now it's bringing more into the conscious state. If it doesn't feel good, we know that that's not a seed that we don't want to plant that seed. Right. So it's going back into the self to being like, what really feels good here. And it's okay too. If you planted that seed, you can change that momentum right back around into what you do want. So keep switching it. You can.
You have the power. You have the power.
You have all the power.
Yeah. I love that you guys are so like boisterous, like, and that's how we are going to be. Yeah.
We're very excited. Try something new too. That's a thing that's coming. Like, try something else. Try something new. Really rework those neural pathways because you're just calling in the gifts that you already have. So bring in something new, play, and see how that sits in your system. Like, bringing in the new is your creative self. So try something out. Go get lost in the woods for a little bit. See talk to everything else that's around you. Start to do a new craft, you know? So yeah, call in the new.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be afraid to travel a little bit too, I would say, even if it's just in the car. One of the things that I find that's fun is to remember they used to have the Sunday drive. You guys might not remember this, but because you're, younger, but they used to have a Sunday drive, and my parents didn't do that, but my husband likes to do that. And so we'll go somewhere new, we're in one point and we'll go somewhere new on a Sunday and go see something else. And it does kind of just change, it just shifts your perspective. And all it is the price of gas,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to new music.
Yeah.
Like, just as music you've never listened to before. It's like, try to find a new song that you like, like you might like different music, but it kind of does take a journey to try to discover new music that you might like, like, it's just like, changing your surroundings and the way that you're like, experiencing reality. Find a new way to do that.
Get an instrument, something like that, where you can just try out those tones for yourself, be bold.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to be the weird one in the room at all.
Be the weird one in the room, please.
We are only room with weird people. We prefer weird people.
Be yourself. Be yourself is the main thing. Whatever that is that looks like to you, you've got green hair, just be yourself. That is how you move closer into your ascension pathway.
Like, maybe you don't feel eloquent, maybe you don't feel like you can relate to other people, like, you don't have to have green hair. I mean, if that's what you want to do, but like, you like, just the subtle things that make you that you're afraid people won't accept, like, just do it. What do they have to do? You
got nothing to lose is what we're saying. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain by that. Because in doing that too, you're also going to attract others to you with the same types of things that you like. And that's the community action that we're looking for. So
yeah,
be the example.
Be yourself. Know that yourself is the gift that you came here to give to the world. That's, being who you really are. Yeah,
exactly.
I love that.
do have all these beautiful tools out here on the earth that allow you to look back in at yourself. Like, honestly, if you're sitting in like, I need to do, there's the I need again, but I need to sit in meditation per se, or whatever the case is, and you have the ability to let that attachment go, and really your way of connecting is sitting down and having a glass of wine, you're so fast tracked. You know, there is no right way to do it.
There is no wrong answer here. The only wrong answer is not being yourself. And then even that's part of the exploration of yourself. So even that's not wrong. There's no wrong way to do this.
Yeah.
Which is so exciting.
It is. It's so exciting. And anything you can do just to be in that kind of I am me field, that the longer you do that and the more you do that, the better you're going to feel every single day. So, yeah. Yeah. And if people, you know, if you have someone around you who's not satisfied with that, then just say, well, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm going to do this because it makes me feel happy.
Yep. Yeah. And then they go, oh, well, they're going to do the same thing. Okay. You know? So.
Yeah, if someone's having a hard time and they, you know, are expecting you to kind of make it better for them, first of all, model what it is to not, you know, to just be fine in yourself. And when they, and like, you're not doing them any favors by helping them feel better, you know, like they're still looking outwards. And so like, it doesn't help them to have somebody take care of something for them that they need to solve in themselves. That actually does them damage because they learn that they don't need to look inside of themselves. And so the way to help the people around you is to be self-sufficient.
I think that's been one of the hardest lessons, honestly, for people, because we've come in here with a really big soul and we have a lot of knowledge, even if we didn't walk in with it, like we still retained a lot of it. And we want to share it and we want to help. But sometimes that looks more like taking over. And it's important not to be taking over and controlling things. And I think that's been one of the biggest lessons that I've come upon with just starseeds in general. And that was my lesson too. So not to be in control.
That's the lesson. I mean, that is something that was imprinted way far back and ended up turning into a cycle of repetition. So that's going to be not where we're headed. You know, you can choose it though, if you want to, right? But we're moving far out of that space.
Yeah. I mean, that the control, getting control of your surroundings, and also enabling of, you know, like there's this like codependency mechanism that has sort of just like in the part of the cycle the earth was at, that was very valid at that cycle, but that's not where we're now. Like here and now, we no longer, like there's no tribal survival things that we need to like and it's worse, and it makes it worse if you're doing things for someone else that they can do for themselves. You're actually making it so that they don't learn how to do it themselves. And I'm not saying don't take care of the people around you. That is not at all what I'm saying, you know, but you can take care of you know, you can show someone love and you can be generous and compassionate in a way that does not enable them to stay where they're at, you know,
and take away from you. It really does take away from you and the entirety of the picture of why we're here. Right. So in love and gratitude and respect, we don't have to be in those spaces anymore. By being in our self space and being ourselves and being self-sufficient, we do have that community that's coming in, and we can actually give more in that state. So that's really,
like, for instance, because I never have to manage Z's emotional state, you know, her emotional state is not none of the things on my plate. You know, I can surprise her with all sorts of things, and I can show her love and generosity, because the way that I'm not like, I'm not having to show her love by managing her emotions. They're her emotions.
Yeah. I take them.
They're hers.
Yeah.
I have mine. She has hers, you know?
Well, and that works in friendships, that works in, you know, the situation you guys are in, that works in spousal situations, partnerships that are romantic, all of it, all the way across the board. Like if you feel that, okay, I'm the dish doer and the food preparer, and you never give the other person a chance to do it, then they will never learn how to help you with that task. I mean, that's a very simple.
They might not know how to do it.
Yeah.
They might not know.
Like
how.
I watched somebody in my life, you know, do things that have to do with cooking, and I'm like, okay. And sometimes it's not, we have to also give them space to learn. You know, don't expect them to right where you're at when you know, as soon as you turn it over to them either. Yeah.
But they will never learn if they don't have the reason to.
Yeah.
If someone like, if somebody's real self-belief is, I don't know how to cook, that means other people have to cook for them, you know, and it's like that. Can you see how quickly that like devolves? You know, like I don't even, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time being the person that doesn't know how to cook. Hold on. If my belief is that I don't know how to cook, you know, there's just like this like cascade of self-beliefs that come from that, you know, like I'm not the person that cooks. I'm not good at cooking, you know. Now suddenly everybody else, you know, if they would like to eat if they want to eat something good, they're relying on somebody else. And it's not that like you cannot know how to cook and not be good at cooking. But if your belief is I am a person that doesn't know how to do this, then your entire life then is fueled by other people being the ones that know how. You know, and so instead, I don't know how to do that, but like, I would like to know, or if I want to eat good food, like, how can I like, you know, this is where all this enabling comes in. Like if somebody around you doesn't know how to cook and doesn't want to know how, that's fine, you know, but that was a lot of words to say that we have control over our own reality.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying the story now. Here for it.
I lost it for a second,
but give them the opportunity. That's all, and that's going to bring in the word try. Just try it out, because you're actually far better at it. You're actually good at all the things, really. We are good at all the things. It's just trying it out.
Right. Exactly. And, you know, make sure you want to try it out too, because there's some of that too. Like there's certain things I don't care to learn. Like I don't care to learn how to change the oil in the car. And that's okay with me that I don't learn it. But if it's something that I want to do, and also if it's a burden on the other person, if they're saying to you it's a burden on them, then maybe it's something to really look at.
Well, it's like you don't have to learn how to change the oil in your own car, but you are responsible for your own car is really what it is.
So
you know? So you don't have to be the oil, but you're the one who does need to solve that problem.
And that really brings in taking in responsibility for yourself.
Right.
Looking at yourself. That's the point.
Looking at the self and taking action when it's needed, you know, because you'll feel that once you start looking at yourself, it's like, oh, action point right here. Even if that's like, I'm going to write a word down here, and that might be a few weeks, but you come back to it and that's exactly what was needed, you know? So it's simple. Let's make it simple.
It really is simple, and it's just seeing all the parts. So stepping back and being the observer and seeing all the parts and not getting stuck in the narrow vision. Because I think that's sometimes where people go, is into the narrow vision. And we can do amazing things. So don't limit yourself.
Yeah, don't limit yourself. Take a step back, take a look. You can bring in like some bird energy and be like, I'm an eagle right now. What am I seeing in this overview? Right? You're just overviewing it. And that way you have a better clarity to choose what you want to do.
Yeah.
You are the exact same thing as everything around you, which means that you have access to the perspectives of everything around you.
Everything.
You can be a spider, you can be a fish, you can be you can be anything, you can be a couch, you can be sand on the beach. What feels best to you at any given moment, and how do you want to respond to things? Do you want to respond like an ocean? Do you want to respond like a fire? How do you feel best?
And that is how the energy works. It works in those metaphors. So really kind of bringing that in, what do I want to experience? I want to be in the wind today, and the wind makes me feel free, so get into that and be really curious about it, be really excited about it, because that is the story point that you get to create for yourself.
That's a great exercise to do. And just go have fun with it. Just go spend a little time every day being something else.
Yeah, that is you.
Yep, that is you, because we are all one. Yes, we're all
exactly
one. Yeah. I think, have you guys read The Law of One? That book, The Law of One?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed that so much, but not that I read the whole thing either, because I didn't. I'm not that. But just the perspective, and tapping into what each thing meant to me, because we went through it like a book club, and we would do it and they would say, okay, well, what does that mean? What does that actually mean to me? What's my perspective on that? So just doing that with everything is a great way to see
absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And really, again, getting those attachments to anything out there. I might want to read a book, but I'm not going to be attached to finishing the book. There might be one sentence in there that means everything to me, and that's all I needed to move forward on my journey.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's funny.
All the information is there at all times, and so like wherever you get it from, highly recommend The Law of One. Absolutely.
So.
Everyone should read that. But also you could open a magazine and it's like tarot cards, except it's your life, whatever you need to hear, you can reflect back to yourself, just like get the information as it comes.
Whatever suits your fancy, really. Fairy tale books are a favorite of mine. I like being the White Rabbit, in like all my stories. So just and each perspective is going to give you exactly what you need. That's another thing too. Anything that you look at is going to give you exactly what you need.
Yeah.
It's just looking at it in yourself and you're like, oh, that's what that meant. Okay.
I think that's great. It reminds me of a dream I had. I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this up, but it's been coming in, so I guess I will. So I had this person I was involved with who was very loud and didn't last very long. And I had this dream that I walked away from that person. And as I walked away, it's like I had magical experience after magical experience. And it was just one road after another. And the first road was like walking through a cornfield, so that's all I could see on both sides. And the next one was kind of like Dr. Seuss type trees. And it just went on and on like that. And that's what we're doing right now. We're going through that magical experience. And
that's exactly.
Okay, good.
That's exactly what we're doing. That was perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That was
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're in the magic right now. So enjoy it. Enjoy it.
And it's coming through ourselves.
Yeah.
Knowing that you are the magic.
That's the point. You are the magic.
You are the magic.
You are Ascension. Ascension is not something that's happening to us. Ascension is something we are doing.
We are doing within ourselves. Right.
Oh.
And that point of ascension within ourselves allow us to explore all those higher densities, all those points that we've been reaching out for here on Earth. And now it's right here. It's inside ourselves. Constant walking sticks. Not sticks, but I like sticks. I'm Ascension.
The new stick.
The biggest stick.
The
What
biggest
stick are you gonna
magnet.
carry today?
I don't know, but I'm gonna paint it blue.
Yeah, right? Yeah, just have fun and don't judge yourself about it. Just enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless you're having fun judging yourself.
Which
There
is
you
a
go.
thing, you know.
Okay. Oh, do we have any final words? Anything that we've missed? Feels really good, actually. Feels
Good
really
right
good.
now.
Yeah. Just be you.
Information has
Just be you. Yeah. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
be silly about
Be really silly about it.
it.
Yes, exactly.
And lots
Thank
of
you, guys.
gratitude to you guys. Thank you guys. You're already doing it just by being here. So we give a lot of gratitude to you guys. And we
Mhm.
love you so much.
Yes,
so
we
much.
do.
It's true.
Yes. Thank
It's
you.
true.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Annie.
Yay. We love you,
Bye.
Annie.